And the layup's good off the glass.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
That defense was awful. That was just pathetic. He should not be that wide open right near the bucket.
And the Spurs organization, really the gold standard in the NBA. Greg, they just keep winning.
You have to be impressed with how they've acquired young star talent to kind of carry on that tradition. Usually when teams have their stars retire, they go through that rebuild phase. The Spurs only revamp and reload.
Here's Andrews. The rebound by the Spurs.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Now Parker, his last outing with 20 points. Back to Leonard. Launches a three, and it's Leonard again missing.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. Oh, gorgeous floater by Young. Impossible to defend given his soft touch.
Now here's Parker. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Celtics leading by 4. He had a nice open look right there. Prez has got 9. And there are a lot of gym rats in the league, but Prez might be the biggest one of them all. He's always putting in extra work to keep his game sharp.
And it doesn't matter.
Get over here, guys. Hustle up. Let's talk. We have got to do a better job on Leonard. They will keep feeding him on the block until we give them a reason to stop. I want us bringing the double every time he starts to dribble. We have got to pressure him into a bad look. Make them beat you as a team. We can live with that, all right?
Fresh 5 on the floor. Spurs trail by 4. On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Urebko at the 4, Olynyk at the 5. Prez out there with Young. And it's Brown in at the 3 slot. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Prez in their last game against the Thunder was tremendous. He scored 40 points and was his usual self on the defensive side with a number of steals. Really a gritty performance. He shouldered the scoring load all night. And Kevin, we'll see if he gets some more help this evening.
Thanks for the report, David. You had to just marvel, guys, at what he was able to do that night, didn't you?
You know what? It was the game of basketball being played at its highest level. No question who their MVP was in that win.
Oh, well, let's see if he gets special attention now by the defense. You know, obviously they saw what we saw, but how much did they try to take away from him early on?
Brown, good.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Spurs trail by 11. Screen by Lee. Here's Leonard. Another miss by Leonard.
And, you know, you can feel the desperation right now. They're starting to lose their composure offensively.
Oh, man, this is when the coach gives you the whistle. He needs to settle his guys down. Don't worry about the run. Go one possession at a time.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Simple rule of team rebounding. Everyone needs to box out someone when the shot goes up. A number of assignments were missed right there.
Parker's checked in for San Antonio.
And Kelly Olynyk, from a basketball family, his father a successful coach, his mother a scorekeeper. He's grown up around the game.
The Celtics on offense. They're on a 20-4 run right now. They double him with Green to the inside. Olynyk the pass to Young. An explosive finish there from Young.
And he might not do it too often, but Young can get some good lift if he has a path to the rim.
Well, Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, maybe the closest, Chris, we've seen to Dirk Nowitzki when you talk about 7-footers who can space the floor.
Well, he's a 7-footer now, but he grew up playing guard before he had that late growth spurt. You just don't find many players at his size with that kind of shooting and fluidity with the ball. I think his agility at his size is probably the most underrated aspect to his game.
No good from Lee. Celtics leading by 13. Prez with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. Andrews. And another basket for Boston.
And that's how you shoot it from mid-range. Prez just nailing the shot with ease.
Parker kicks to Lee. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Gasol. Rebounded by the Celtics. Their last encounter was in Boston.
A huge margin of victory for them when these two teams squared off last, and they got scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, and when your bench is putting up major points, it makes the whole offense that much more difficult to defend. They went to blowout city.
Parker dishes to Leonard. 6 to shoot. Pulls up, high post, hits the front of the rim and out.
Really surprised he clanked that one. He makes those on the regular.
A rebound by Gasol.
Yeah, you won't see him miss many dunks unless you've got somebody right in his face, as was the case there on that possession. Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Gasol. And it's Anderson in for Lee. Boston also with the sub. Young's checked in for Brown.
And that's what Prez does so well. A tremendous scorer who tries his...
Way to work, gentlemen. Let's go now. Hustle up. I love the energy, fellas. I really do. But now we got to keep it up and stay focused. Remember, you're my Pippen and you're my Jordan. Finish this game like they would.
Execution. That's a smart timeout.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. It's the Celtics up by 16. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Tony, it's been a struggle offensively. Why is it tough to get what you want?
I don't know. We got a hard time to make a basket. Playing a very good team. They play with a lot of energy. So hopefully in the second half we can shoot a little bit better.
Execution has to pick up. Thanks, Tony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David.
Keep it up, guys. We have some good momentum. I like what I see.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. We're seeing a tremendous game from Prez.
Yeah, how about that first half? He's already scored more points than he averages on the season.
Yeah, somewhat surprisingly. He's been looking for his own shot, but the defense has been daring him to do it, so we might as well let it fly.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court right now for the Spurs, Parker and Green, the tried and tested backcourt. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Lee, and it's Gasol in at the 5, roaming the paint. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be the next all-star big man in San Antonio, but he downplays any notion of him as a successor to Tim Duncan. He said no one is going to fill his shoes. There's no pressure, and I'm not trying to be him. Our games are different. I think a pretty good perspective, Kevin.
All he has to do is be himself, D.A. Thanks.
And really, Gasol just never stops attacking the boards, just utterly relentless at pounding the glass.
Chris, it's been a few years now since you've retired. How do you feel the game has changed from when you were playing to the modern game we see now?
Well, I think the game is less physical. I think it's more of an emphasis on small ball, but I think it's the same in many different ways. But I just think that maybe the tempo, and I think the most obvious factor has to be the number of threes shot and taken per game. And if you're talking about Steph Curry setting records, breaking his own, the shots made per game.
Good analysis. Here's Parker following the basket by Prez. Up top, Leonard. He's covered by Brown. Gasol kicks to Leonard. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And that one's good. Parker.
Well, that's just a great start to the half for them. Their offense is clicking, and they have made 3 of their first 4 shots.
Here's Andrews. Green with the rebound. Spurs trail by 13. Passes it to Lee. And there's the feed to Parker. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. And finished off by Gasol.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
16 feet away. And again, another shot trained there from Andrews. Prez has got 6 points in the quarter.
And you like the discipline he shows, recognizing the size mismatch. Immediately rises up and pulls the trigger.
And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. The Spurs shooting 43% from the floor. On the court right now for the Celtics. Andrews in at point guard. Jonas Jerebko out there with Avery Bradley. And it's Young, and it's Horford in at the 5 spot. Prez with the ball. He's picked up by Parker.
Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
Oh, they really made a mess of that one. That really should have been an easy basket.
Now here's Mills. He feeds it to Leonard. A rebound by the Celtics. 17 points was their biggest margin. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Spurs trail by 7. Parker outside. Leonard sets a screen for Parker. And it's Leonard missing.
Just a rough game for him so far. No made shots so far, and his team is hurting because of it.
Horford has a wide open look. Boston, no good that time either.
Oh, even though he has been lost in the shuffle, his team remains in front.
Parker passes to Leonard. The 10-footer. San Antonio again missing.
And with him missing literally everything he's put up today, you can see why the score is what it is.
Here's Andrews. Bullseye. Prez has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Boston.
Now that's just a wonderful jumper from Prez. His release is so sweet.
Green kicks to Gasol. Parker outside. Leonard. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Great playmakers help everything run so smoothly. Excellent lead pass.
Got that bucket in no time at all. 26 points for Prez.
Gotta be demoralizing. They desperately needed a stop, and instead they give up a triple on an open look.
Where was the defense then? If you're trying to come back in this game, you can't forget to guard the perimeter.
Here's Prez. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, just nice strength there, and then just off with the shot.
And the first one drops. Perhaps the most memorable team, Chris, you played on, the Kings of the early 2000s. We see a lot of teams now that have that same up-tempo style with great passing. Is this the way basketball is meant to be played?
You know, I think so. I think, you know, you have 5 players on the court, and unlike other sports, you have to play offense and defense on this team. And so to keep guys motivated, to keep guys engaged, you know, you want guys that want to touch the ball and score. There could be guys that can be just decoys out there, but they're still touching the ball, being part of the offense. And it's no worse feeling than to come down for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions and not touch the ball. And as a fan, for me, it's nothing worse than watching a team come down 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions.
Bring it in. Take a seat. Listen up. We have these guys back on their heels. And now they're playing like they're desperate. Just keep squeezing that orange juice, gentlemen.
You get more highlights because it makes the defense move from side to side. It makes the defense more engaged and pay attention, and therefore when they slip up, it's that much more special with the play. And you can only do that mostly with 5 players that move the ball. So yeah, team ball is definitely the best player, but even on the best teams, you need a guy that can go get you some buckets.
Like that. It's stolen by Prez. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Prez leading the charge. And it's Boston with another.
And really like how Prez keeps his hands moving, which is why he comes away with important steals.
Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
Yeah, Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. From the baseline. The shot comes out, and it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Parker kicks to Green. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
And he has slipped into a funk. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, everybody goes through slumps. He can't let it get to him, though. Everyone makes mistakes on the floor. You just have to always be thinking about the next play.
Here's Parker following the basket by Prez. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for the Celtics.
What an effort in the transition game we've seen tonight from these guys. Really pushed the ball, and I think in doing so created a lot of pressure on the defense.
Definitely had a huge edge, and this is their DNA. When they run the ball and dictate the flow of the offense like we've seen here, these are the kinds of games they can have.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win. A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Prez.
Defensively, he was their anchor. He was the guy you did not want guarding you because you knew he was going to be in your jersey all night long. It was lockdown D he was playing, and it resulted in a lot of big steals.
The shot's good from Gasol.
And I really like to see Gasol go up with the shot immediately after getting the pass. Shows how much confidence he has in himself.
It's stolen by Prez. And a look at Prez there, just punishing the rim.
Oh, and you love the ferocity that Prez finished that playoff with. No layups for the big fella.
Man, I was feeling it out there tonight. Who's next? The Hornets? You know we gonna be ready.
Yep. Game time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith as we move forward to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Prez. He kicked it into high gear that final period. His tenacity and level of effort obviously key to the outcome of this game.
It's a testament how hard he worked to find good looks. Not everyone is going to show the discipline he did tonight. Sometimes when you start feeling it, you start letting, loose a little bit, and you start taking some tough shot. He was solid all the way.
Let me tell you something. He got that look in his eye like he's determined to get his points tonight. It didn't matter what they tried to do to stop him. That right there was some focus, fellas. He went way beyond what I thought he was capable of. Unreal tonight. Wow. Woo-wee.
And that is the end of our broadcast for this evening. I
Why'd you
sound like
change
an
your
old
voice?
1940s guy, don't
Oh,
I? That's
close
the
to
end
it.
of our broadcast for this evening.
Kenny, Ernie,
For
join
Ken
me.
Smith and Shaq O'Neal.
Join me.